Well, on March 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Nadja Solerno-Sonnenberg will lead the San Antonio Symphony in performances of the Four Seasons and a wonderful Russian interpretation of Bizet's Carmen. Well, it's an understatement to say that Nadja is a world-class musician, because that's what she is. She's a Naumburg winner, Avery Fisher Prize for Outstanding Achievement winner, and a career grant from the Avery Fisher Foundation. But before we talk, I got to tell you a story. And this has to do with your Licade on the piano and you on the violin doing Brahms, but particularly the Franck. I didn't know much about you, and then I heard the Franck Violin Sonata in A. And at the time, we were starting a radio station here from a defunct one. And I went into the library and threw out all the recordings that we had of the A major sonata, because the passion that you put into that Franck sonata, and it's still thankfully for sale on Amazon.
Oh, is it? It's out of print. Okay.
Imagine that. There were two today when I looked.
It's the first sonata that Cecile and I learned together when we were very young students at Curtis. We were like 12 years old, and we just had to play the Franck, and so it was nice that we got to record it later in our lives.
Oh, again, or just...
No, just that one.
Just that one?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that there's a better recording of it or a performance of it, and I just wanted to let you know, and my confession is that in 1988 I threw it out. I threw out all the others, and I guess my question for you is, for those who want to perform in violin, is it the rite of passage to be able to play that well? Do your students, do you say, look, let me hear you play, you and your choice of pianist, let me hear you play your interpretation of Franck?
No, I don't think the piece itself is a rite of passage at all. It's a standard rep, and it's arguably the most popular sonata for piano and violin. But I don't think it's a rite of passage. I think it's just, it's a spectacular work. It's definitely withstands the test of time. There are other pieces. I think when a violinist gets to the point where he or she plays through a Paganini concerto, that is a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Or
yes, I.
It's a kind of technique, or through a solo Bach sonata. It's a level of technique that you've arrived at.
So what are you bringing here with the Four Seasons that's so well known to all audiences? Yeah. What will you do with your ensemble, your string ensemble on stage, that will set apart?
The thing that I love about the Four Seasons, always have, and still do, and talk about a piece that stands the test of time, is that it is very visual. In the music, depending on what edition you have the written words that Vivaldi placed in there of what it is that we're supposed to be doing. Birds, there's a hunt, drunk people sleeping, insects, storms. Now, it's written into the music phenomenally. But there's also this text that goes with it. And so I just like to push the envelope a little. And if you were to play the piece without any extra special effects, you still would, it's a phenomenal piece, and you would get the idea of what's going on. But the reason why I love playing the Vivaldi's Four Seasons is to bring that text to life even more. How do you play a drunk guy?
So what do you say to your ensemble?
Well, I give them carte blanche.
You give them that
freedom to do that.
Okay.
Seriously, how do you play drunk?
Yeah.
How do you play your instrument and make it sound like you're drunk? So there's an entire movement of the drunks sleeping after, revelry. It's just dotted eighth notes. So what do you do to that to bring in that extra? So that's why I like playing that piece to bring to life visually what we're hearing.
Well, you know, it's the one. And to offset it against a 20th century piece
Right.
in Bizet's Carmen. How interesting! And I was playing for you what I had on my iTunes on my iPhone. Your wonderful rendition.
Well,
I guess it was on. Was it on the Humoresque?
yeah, that's the Humoresque album. That's
The Humoresque album.
one
Yes.
of the 2 solo versions for violin. That's the Waxman that you heard.
Waxman.
Franz Waxman, yeah, very.
Well,
very.
this is a much longer version, and I'm not sure I know how to say the Russian composer's name.
His name is Rodion Shchedrin, and he was married to the greatest, in my opinion, Russian ballerina ever, and her name was Maya Plissetskaya. And he wrote. This is a ballet, so he scored it for strings and percussion. He wrote this for her.
I thought it was a suite.
It is, but it's a ballet.
Ballet suite.
That he wrote for his wife, and it is. It is a spectacular arrangement. Not a lot of music written for strings and percussion, and anything that's written for that combo is always fantastic. And this is just everybody, of course, will recognize every single tune, but the way that he mixes these two sections is just phenomenal. It's knock it out of the ballpark kind of piece. It really is.
Yeah, and it's 40 minutes of
Yeah,
Carmen.
yeah.
Not 11 minutes as in the Waxman
Right.
suite.
Right. And also, if I may add something,
I want you to.
there is no conductor in this concert.
No, you're the leader.
And it is not, it's not what the musicians are used to. It is so much more challenging for them, even visually, just to see me, because I'm sitting in the concertmaster chair. For the Carmen, I lead the orchestra from the concertmaster chair. For the Vivaldi, I'm the soloist, so I'm up in front. But there is no conductor here, and it is a testament to the fine musicians in the orchestra. We just had a rehearsal. It sounds fantastic already. To double their focus, everybody is far more responsible for their part than if they had that safety net up front. They don't, and it's the most vibrant way to make music, and
So
I think that everybody is enjoying it.
So in the I knew that you would do that with the Four Seasons, but in the Carmen as well?
Yeah, no conductor.
No conductor. Will you stand at times? No.
I get excited.
Come on, I know you get excited
No,
at concerts.
I play the first violin part. I'm the concertmaster.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what rehearsals are for. But it's just a testament to the great musicians who can do it. Not everybody can.
Yeah. Well, on March 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Nadja is going to be performing the Four Seasons and also leading it, as well as leading the Carmen suite, ballet suite. And for that, we're so thankful to have you here in our fair city on the river.
I'm very, very happy to be back. Look at this great
Come
weather.
again.
No nor'easter here.
No nor'easter. Thank you, Nadja, so much.
Thank you.